Another Wildcat says he's ready to move on to the NBA. You'll hear from Tyler Eulis just ahead.
Several families in Lee County are preparing to say goodbye after a fatal fire yesterday morning.
Budget talks continue behind closed doors in Frankfort. We'll check in with party leaders.
This is WKYT News at 5.
3 Wildcats have now declared for the NBA draft.
This afternoon, Tyler Eulis joined Jamal Murray and Skal Labissiere by saying he's going pro. WKYT's Rob Bromley's here now with more on the decision in our top story at 5. Rob?
Tyler Eulis is moving on, and his announcement this afternoon to go into the draft really came as no surprise. Eulis had an incredible year. Look at him work some magic here and then come open for the shot against Florida. He was a consensus All-American, SEC Player of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year. He said today it was a tough decision, but it was the right time.
I expected 2 years at the most because, well, at the least because, last year I knew, with the team we had and the way my body was, I wasn't prepared yet. But, this year, I had a plan before the season started, and, I feel like I did most of it for the most part, other than winning the national title. And, I feel like I said, this is my time.
Just very, very happy for him. As he said, obviously, we all have to make tough decisions in life. We feel like this is the best decision for him. It wasn't rushed. It was well planned out. And, we're just excited about the next chapter of his life.
Tyler Eulis not the only one making headlines today. The fallout from the escort scandal within the Louisville basketball program goes on. U of L has now self-imposed more sanctions. Louisville will lose 2 scholarships following this upcoming season. Louisville also has reduced the number of recruiting days for this year by 30. That's almost 25% reduction in recruiting opportunities for this upcoming year. But the question remains with the U of L scandal, when will we hear from the NCAA and what the NCAA has to say about it? Sam Amber, back to you.
Rob, thank you. We have showers moving through the area this afternoon.
As we look at the map over our shoulder here with Chris, it looks pretty busy. Chris, what's the latest on what you're seeing?
Yeah, rain moving into town right now. A little thunder and lightning, though the overall thunderstorm impact of this not going to be very great at all. But some soaking rains falling across parts of the Bluegrass region right now, kind of coming at us at a bad time for that evening commute across the I-64 and 75 corridor into central Kentucky. Lexington Metro, especially right on top of downtown. Now the rain's beginning to come down. Likewise, Georgetown, Sadieville, been raining for a little bit into parts of the Franklin County area. Heaviest rain downtown Lexington, pushing toward the Hamburg Pavilion area as we speak. A little bit of yellow and orange showing up in that, and that is just off to the west and southwest of us. You see those darkening skies across the region. We go down the BG Parkway. Showers, thunderstorms have been a little more prominent here. Likewise across the 27 corridor, down 152. And getting toward Berea, Richmond, I-75, Madison County, down into Rockcastle County. We're going to get some rain to dampen the roadways coming up here very, very shortly. A little trip back into western Kentucky. Showers, thunderstorms here will rumble across the region late this evening. Watch how quickly that stuff gets into town by 9, 10 o'clock or so. And then from there, colder winds are coming at us from the northwest with a gusty shower or two that will carry us into the late night. When I come back in a few minutes, we'll show you how these thunderstorms are ushering in a much colder weather pattern, guys. Maybe just a hint of some wintertime in there as well.
Today, family and friends are remembering 3 people killed in a fire. The victims were inside an apartment building on Country Club Road in Lee County when it caught fire early yesterday morning. By the time firefighters put it out, only the exterior walls were left. WKYT's Victor Puente talks to those who knew 2 of the people killed.
The investigation into this fire continues today. That's happening as the families of the 3 people who didn't make it out prepare to say goodbye.
Earlier today, the Lee County coroner confirmed that Samantha Two Daniel and Johnny Bishop were 2 of the people whose bodies were found in that burned home. The 3rd person, Jennifer Heaton, was in an upstairs apartment. The home had been converted into multiple apartments, and the couple had recently moved downstairs.
It was devastating. We were in shock, so we really didn't want to believe that it was true at first.
Once the fire was out, investigators said 3 people were unaccounted for, but it wasn't until yesterday evening that they found the 3 bodies.
and I hear my neighbors screaming at us to get up, to get out. And I run to him and hand him my little girl.
Lisa Osborne and her family escaped the fire, but lost everything they owned. She also lost 2 good friends, in Samantha and Johnny.
Yeah, we was devastated. I cried.
Osborne had gone with Daniel last week to have an ultrasound. The 21-year-old was 14 weeks pregnant, but hadn't told many people beside her close friend and her sister.
And I called her mom and told her what was going on, and that was the worst thing ever. I mean, I didn't want somebody else to have to call and do it.
She was so excited to be pregnant and be a mom. She loved kids. She was great. She would help people in any way that they needed it. She was always friendly. She always had a smile on her face. She always greeted people with a hug. She didn't see strangers.
State police tell me the investigation into how this fire started is still continuing. They say they have some more witnesses to interview and aren't ready to establish a cause. In Lee County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
And donations are being accepted for the families involved at the Lee County Courthouse, the Solid Waste Department, and the Happy Top Community Church.
The clock is ticking for lawmakers when it comes to the state budget. Today, lawmakers met at the state capitol to try and reach an agreement. As WKYT's Kristen Kennedy shows us, party leaders say they're confident they'll have a deal before time runs out.
The House and Senate have less than a week to have a budget bill written up and ready to vote on. Party leaders are quite confident they'll meet that deadline. Wednesday morning and well into the afternoon, they held multiple meetings to address the budget. There are many legislatures involved in these meetings. The biggest fiscal issue right now seems to be the funding of the pension system. Democrats don't want any spending cuts made on education programs. Republicans want to cut spending and put those savings back into the public pension plan. Senate President Robert Stivers says he is working with House Speaker Greg Stumbo on a budget agreement.
Well, we talked last week and continue to talk. I congratulated him because we had professional discussions behind closed doors about where we could reach resolution.
Coming up at 6, we will break down just what could happen if we do not have a budget by the time the legislative calendar ends. In Frankfort, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
And by the way, the last day of that legislative calendar is Tuesday.
Police say they're investigating a double homicide after finding 2 bodies in a northern Kentucky home. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Kenton County. Police were called to the home in Ellesmere about 10:30 this morning. They have not said much about the circumstances or how the people died. The victims have not been identified, but neighbors say a young couple with 3 foster children lived in the home. In Perry County, a stolen cell phone led police to a home with drugs and a young child inside. Hazard police say they went to an address where the cell phone pinged and found marijuana, pills, cash, and other drug-related items. They arrested 19-year-old Zebulon Cottle on 6 charges, including wanton endangerment. They also say they found a 2-year-old in the home who was turned over to social services.
Police need your help finding a storage shed stolen from an Eastern Kentucky cosmetology school. The theft happened at Jenny Lee Academy in Whitesburg sometime over the weekend. Police say the school stored chairs, Christmas decorations, and other supplies inside the unit. Students say they have no idea why someone would want to take their supplies.
I've thought about this, and I have no idea. I mean, the only thing I can think of is they have some crazy arts and craft project to do, but I mean, other than that, I have no idea.
Well, the school is now trying to find another place to store their supplies. The frontrunners in the race for the Republican and Democratic nominations are moving on to the next contest after losses in Wisconsin Tuesday.
As Craig Boswell shows us, the focus is now on the New York vote, where there is plenty of time for the candidates to step up attacks as the delegate math gets more and more difficult and the convention's closer.
Hillary Clinton is ramping up her attacks on Bernie Sanders after her 6th straight loss to the Vermont senator.
Some of his ideas just won't work because the numbers don't add up.
Clinton hit Sanders Wednesday morning on his interview with the New York Daily News.
The core of his campaign has been break up the banks, and it didn't seem in reading his answers that he understood exactly how that would work.
While Clinton has a 700-delegate lead over Sanders, there is now extra pressure ahead of the New York primary, where more than 290 delegates are on the line.
Do not tell Secretary Clinton she's getting a little nervous, and I don't want her to get more nervous. But I believe we've got an excellent chance to win New York and a lot of delegates in that state.
The Empire State is a big prize in the Republican race for the White House, too, with 95 delegates at stake, each of which is even more important now with the increased probability of a contested convention this summer.
If we come together, we're going to win. If we remain divided, we will not.
Ted Cruz hit the ground running in the Bronx after beating Donald Trump in Wisconsin. But a new Monmouth poll shows Trump well ahead in New York and Ted Cruz polling in third place. Craig Boswell, CBS News, the White House.
Donald Trump also has a 9-point lead in the latest poll out of Pennsylvania. The Keystone State votes April 26th. Music fans mourning the loss of a country legend. We look back at the life of Merle Haggard.
A new study finds a sharp increase in cases of diabetes. What could help bring the numbers down in better living?
Could this really be the answer for heroin addiction? A little-known drug called Vivitrol.
I haven't had any cravings or thoughts of using.
WKYT investigates a cure for heroin. Thursday at 6 on WKYT.
Three new kinds of jaw-dropping primetime burgers, only at Frisch's Big Boy.
Everyone wants to be energy smart, but sometimes we need a little reminder. With Simple Saver, you save energy and the environment, and you earn energy bill credits. So take the hint. Just call or sign up online, and we'll do all the work. Simple Saver, because being energy smart pays. Licking Valley RECC and South Kentucky RECC, your Touchstone Energy Cooperatives.
Are you tired of juggling your finances and can't afford those remodeling projects?
Surplus Sales has a huge selection of carpet at unbeatable prices.
Come on down to Surplus Sales for some great deals.
It was a routine call, a code 7 at a local laundromat. What we saw, well, nothing can prepare you for it. We went in, we approached the victim. He was dying of boredom. Agents of play, sir. We got there just in time. We handed him a scratch-off ticket and watched him play.
Thank you.
Have fun. I'm serious. His smile, well, that's the only thanks we needed. It's what being an agent of play is all about.
Put a little play in your day, week, month, or year with these exciting new scratch-offs from the Kentucky Lottery. Fueling imagination, funding education.
At Baptist Health, we want you to know the facts. Visit BaptistHealthTalks.com to view a video of anesthesiologist Thomas Young on reducing pain after surgery. Baptist Health Lexington. Be a healthier you.
Get on your computer or mobile device. Because of all the great Toyota deals out there, most are not seen on TV. That's why you need to visit buyatoyota.com for a huge selection of savings offers that couldn't possibly fit in a TV commercial, including 0% financing, great lease deals, and 2-year no-cost maintenance. So get on your computer or mobile device and go to buyatoyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals. Toyota, let's go places.
Three new kinds of jaw-dropping primetime burgers, only at Frisch's Big Boy.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. WKYT. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Rain pressing on into much of the region right now. It's a soggy evening that is taking shape for central and eastern Kentucky. Started out so nice, didn't it? Some sun. We hit the 60s, and now case of the uglies coming on in. Let's look outside. Live sky cam, Hamburg Pavilion, somewhere out there with a lot of clouds. Notice that cam is dancing around, and you see the raindrops on our cam. We've knocked it down to 59 degrees. Winds right now 41 miles per hour with the gusts. When you watch that hour-by-hour wind gust forecast that we put out from the hour-by-hour system that we have, it has absolutely been nailing all these high wind events days in advance over the past couple of weeks. Nailing today's as well. It was forecasting winds 40 to 45 miles an hour, and boom, we're getting those winds out there right now. So we got to chase the trash can down in the neighbor's yard, the cul-de-sac, or whatever. Again, those poor Bradford pear trees. They've been in a world of hurt for the past couple of weeks with all the winds. Heavy rain right now, pockets of it across parts of central Kentucky. Where you see the yellows, the oranges, that's where it's coming down at a pretty good clip. East side of town, Polo Club Boulevard, Eastland Parkway up toward Bryan Station High School, Hamburg Pavilion. Some heavier downpours. What are we looking like into downtown Lexington? Some lighter rains across the downtown area, but a little pocket of some heavier stuff around the Fayette Mall area, back toward Nicholasville, and look at Lancaster, Garrett County, back toward Harrodsburg, Danville. Little distant rumble of thunder is a possibility with this type of a setup. Not concerned at all about any type of severe weather. Heavier rains into parts of Leslie and Knox counties as well. Yes, we're going to get another round to make its way into town quickly from west to east as the evening wears on. Busy setup. One low, cold front, another low, cold front, another low, cold front, well, to our northwest. That's where the air is coming from over the next couple of days. So tomorrow's weather on your hour by hour is much, much colder. We're going to struggle to get out of the 40s. We'll have some showers. Not going to rain the entire day. But it's going to be one of those days to where you may have some sun 1 minute, then all of a sudden shower comes through. Sun comes out, shower comes through. Speaking of showers, hour-by-hour forecast. 10 o'clock this evening, what's out across western Kentucky quickly makes its way on into town. Early tomorrow, showers. Then watch how we go through the afternoon and evening. We start to see a few holes in there, so it's not an all-day rain tomorrow. Then colder air comes in here for Friday. If we clear the skies out, it's upper 20s to start into the afternoon. Yeah, you guessed it. A few more in the way of some showers. Again, not an all-day rain Thursday or into Friday for folks heading out to Keeneland. Not going to rain the entire time. So if you go out there thinking it's going to rain the entire time and it doesn't, hey, we told you. 40 for a high temperature on Saturday with a morning snowflake. Next week, we're going to try our very best by the end of next week to pull out of this pattern.
Well, that would be good. That's promising news.
That would be good, but that's the middle of April. We should be by that time, right?
But it's going to get us through.
Eventually, we'll get there.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Live look at Lexington rush hour traffic this afternoon. The crash at Georgetown and the Circle is still there blocking the right lane, but it's currently not causing much of a traffic problem at the moment. The good news is Versailles Road is all clear in the Woodford County. As far as drive times go, Versailles looks good. US 60, no problem headed that direction. To Georgetown on 75, we're collision free. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Don. A very special meeting today for a young girl battling a rare genetic disease. How she got to see the Pope just ahead.
Deputies charge a suspect after finding a man's body in a home, and he was no stranger to the victim. The close connection they share coming up on WKYT News at 5:30.
When big news breaks, be the first to know. Download the WKYT News app and turn on push alerts. Breaking news at your fingertips when you need to know what's going on. Push alerts, now available on the WKYT News app.
Dare to compare. This LG 49-inch LED TV is $449 at H.H. Gregg and only $399 at P-Rack. Save $170 over Lowe's on this Maytag washer. Plus free gift cards up to $500.
Nobody beats P-Racks.
When you play Kentucky lottery games like 5-card cash, college students all over Kentucky are dealt a winning hand.
Fueling imagination.
Funding education.
If you asked any company to stop calling your cell phone and they don't, you may be entitled to $1,500 for every call, even if you owe them money. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Want to save energy and money? By replacing an older refrigerator or freezer, you can save hundreds of dollars on your energy costs. And we'll pick up and recycle the old one for free. Turn that old appliance into cash. To schedule your pickup, call today. Clark Energy and Bluegrass Energy, your Touchstone Energy cooperatives.
Hi, I'm Diana with Kevin's Carpets. We understand how hard it is to buy floors. That's why you need to come to the flooring experts and let Chad, Rebecca, and I help you with your flooring needs. Kevin's Carpets in Lexington and Georgetown. Why, you'd be crazy to buy flooring anyplace else.
It could happen to you. The care that your loved one requires is more than you can provide, and you find yourself relying on a nursing home. If you currently have a loved one in a nursing home and you have concerns, you're not alone. At Care Command, our licensed nurses perform a specialized review on your behalf, evaluate the care, and provide you with the information you need to ensure your loved one is receiving the best care available. Becoming your voice, getting answers for you, Care Command.
This week on Wheel,
sun, sand, surf, and romance.
it's Sandals Resorts Week. Wheel's having fun in the Caribbean sun.
This is my boyfriend, John.
Don't miss it.
Wheel of Fortune, tonight at 7 on WKYT.
At the end of the broadcast, I'm most proud of what we have done as a team and to deliver to the American people the highest quality news broadcast today.
Dare to compare. 3-piece reclining group, $19.99. Plus a free 50-inch LED TV. Certa Perfect Sleeper Pillow Top Queen Set, $9.99. Free gift cards up to $500. 5 years, 0 interest and more.
Nobody beats P-Rats.
Kentucky mornings start here. Breaking and overnight news, weather to plan your day, plus traffic you can take with you. Make WKYT This Morning part of your Kentucky morning. Weekdays from 4:30 to 7 on WKYT. Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Country music legend Merle Haggard has died. Haggard's manager says he died of pneumonia this morning. It was his 79th birthday. Haggard was a Country Music Hall of Fame guitarist, fiddler, and songwriter. He released dozens of albums and #1 hits during his 40-year career.
There will be tight security again this year for the Boston Marathon. This year marks 3 years since bombings at the finish line killed 3 people and injured hundreds. Authorities say there will be 5,000 officers, enhanced checkpoints, and dozens of surveillance video along the route. The marathon is scheduled for April 18th. A hearing on Capitol Hill focused on airport safety today. TSA Administrator Pete Neffinger told lawmakers the agency is hiring and training more security agents in time for the busy summer travel season. He was in the Brussels airport when 2 bombs went off during last month's terrorist attacks. He says there's been no specific credible threat to U.S. airports, but the TSA, he says, still needs to be vigilant.
And I will tell you, being there on that day, seeing the devastation, seeing the chaos of the airport environment and the evil behind it was a stark reminder of the importance of the work that we do at TSA every day to protect travelers.
He says TSA is also working with airlines and airports to address security and the high volume of travelers expected during the next few months.
Another person has died from injuries caused by an exploding Takata airbag. Honda says the person died on March 31st when the driver's airbag inflator on a 2002 Honda Civic ruptured during a crash. It is the 11th known death from a Takata inflator. Honda says it mailed multiple recall notices to the victim, but repairs were never made. The U.S. has found more money to fight the Zika virus. The Obama administration says it will transfer money no longer needed to fight Ebola to battling Zika. Much of the $589 million will go to the Centers for Disease Control to research the virus, Zika-related birth defects, and work to limit its spread.
A 5-year-old Ohio girl had a wish come true this morning when she got to meet the Pope at the Vatican. Lizzie Myers is in Rome with her family to complete her visual bucket list. The young girl has a rare genetic disease called Usher type 2 that's gradually stealing her sight. Pope Francis gave Lizzie a hug and a kiss before touching her face and laying his hands over her eyes.
What did he say to you? That he'd be praying for us and to pray for him.
And the general manager of a Turkish airline helped with the trip. He was so moved by Lizzie's situation and her story, he offered the family round-trip tickets anywhere in the world, and they chose Rome. Police investigating a string of break-ins. Why they say the thief who committed them was pretty bold. That's on WKYT News coming up at 5:30.
Researchers find a dramatic rise in diabetes cases. What they say could bring the numbers under control. That's next in Better Living.
Get WKYT News and weather updates on 104.5 The Cat.
I love Spain. This food, the wine, the tapas. I want to stay here forever.
Well, we're not in Spain. We're home.
I know, but this food is so delicious.
Then it's like a Spain-cation.
Head to Kroger for authentic recipes, specially imported foods, and delicious meal ideas at the Taste of Spain event.
Cook up fresh Perdue boneless chicken breasts for just $1.99 a pound. And sweet red, yellow, or orange bell peppers are now 10 for $10 at Kroger.
Hi, I'm Travis Morgan with North Broadway Auto Sales. We've been in business for over 20 years.
Got over 200 cars in inventory and thousands of happy customers.
At North Broadway Auto Sales, we never put GPS tracking devices on our cars.
Why pay $500 a month on another car lot when you come here and pay as low as $250 a month?
At North Broadway Auto Sales, everybody rides.
En North Broadway Auto Sales, todos manejan.
At Hair-Win, we've been helping people for 125 years.
If you've been injured in a life-changing accident, we can help.
Contact us at helpingkentucky.com.
Hair-Win. Visit helpingkentucky.com.
You're gonna love what's new at Fazoli's, the Create Your Own Sampler. You get 3 choices of Italian deliciousness from 12 Fazoli's favorites. That's over 250 combinations for just $6.99. Only at Fazoli's.
Come to the Flooring Gallery and let's find the perfect floor together. The Flooring Gallery, your home's best friend.
I love grocery shopping at Kroger, but sometimes life gets busy.
So I use ClickList. It's easy. I just order online. And with thousands of great items and fresh food to choose from,
I can get what I want the way I want it, then pick up my order at the store without ever leaving my car.
And for me, that's a game changer.
Order online, pick up curbside at store. We think you're gonna love ClickList. Try it now at Kroger.com/ClickList.
Hey, America! I'm getting fired up for Golden Corral's new Fired Up Favorites. They're launching flavor to a whole new level. I'm heading there now! It's endless baby back ribs, wings, and tenders in bold new flavors like mango habaneros, sriracha, garlic parmesan, and classic buffalo. All for one low price. Rough flight, great landing. Fired Up Favorites only at Golden Corral, the best buffet in the USA.
It is time now for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. A new study finds the number of diabetes cases is skyrocketing around the world. Kenneth Craig shows us the one thing researchers say would help get it under control.
Stephen Hale had a wake-up call 9 years ago when he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Despite a family history, the 52-year-old was shocked.
I just didn't feel any different. It just, I felt normal. I was going through my everyday life.
New research shows Stephen is among a skyrocketing number of people living with the disease. The study in The Lancet finds 422 million adults worldwide have diabetes.
It tells me that we have an epidemic. Those are big numbers.
Researchers looked at more than 700 studies involving more than 4 million adults. They found low and middle income countries experience the biggest jumps in diabetes and that it's more common among men. Here in the U.S., rates increased 80% for men and 50% for women. Obesity is a main risk factor.
Food and exercise, really monitoring carbohydrate intake, eating less processed food, eliminating sugary drinks, that's really the key.
Stephen is doing all he can to keep his diabetes under control.
It was exercise and then also watching my diet were probably the biggest lifestyle changes.
He also takes 2 medications and sees his doctor regularly. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
Diabetes is the 7th leading cause of death in the United States, killing about 70,000 Americans every year. As the number of diabetes patients grows, so is the cost of treating the disease. Researchers found the cost of insulin tripled in the last decade. The average amount used also increased. In the last 5 years, the per-person spending on insulin in the U.S. was more than spending on all other diabetes drugs. Walmart says it plans to only sell cage-free eggs by 2025. The store will require egg supplies to be certified and fully compliant with the United Egg Producers Animal Husbandry Guidelines. The standard will also apply to Sam's Club stores. McDonald's and General Mills have also made the switch to cage-free eggs. Now, here's what's coming up for you at 5:30.